Hello everybody! Welcome to BEing Wednesdays. Today is Wednesday, June 16th, and we're going to be talking, originally I was going to talk about ascension, but I found a different label that kind of matches a little bit more about the way that I teach to encompass more people, and I'm going to call it transcendence teaching. And basically what tonight's episode is about, hello, thanks for logging in everybody. What tonight's episode is all about shifting our consciousness, and I actually channeled my definition earlier today, so I'm going to read what I channeled because I like the way that it is worded, and it says that helping people shift their perception and connect with their own divine wisdom within. So when we are able to shift our perception, we are able to release stress, we are able to be healthy. There's a lot of words for this. Right now we're in what's called the Great Awakening, and I'm not sure if Facebook is coming on. It's not showing me if anybody is actually on my feed or not. On the Facebook side it seems to be having a lag, so if I miss anybody, I apologize. I am also on Instagram, so if there's any Facebook issues, feel free to jump onto Instagram. And another word or another name for the ascension process or the transcendence process is the Great Awakening, a 3D to 5D consciousness, the consciousness shift, raising our vibration, escaping the matrix, enlightenment. There are so many different labels for what it is that many of us light workers are trying to teach people right now, and it's teaching people to use their intuition as opposed to their programmed mind and really relax into the intuitive knowing that your intuition is connected to source, and it's always, if your intention is to do things for the highest good, then you will always be led to what is for your highest good, because your energy will match what your experience is in Earth School. So with that, I wanted to also mention that when we're doing this, what we're actually physically doing with our bodies is we are releasing the dense energy and we are replacing it with light energy. And the way that we do that is definitely not to pretend that we're happy all the time if we're not, because that energy won't work. What we want to do is we want to allow ourselves to feel our feelings, and we want to be able to feel through it, replace any of the negative feelings or the trauma feelings with gratitude for how much the lesson taught us and how much we grew. And then from there, instead of dwelling in it or going into a poor me or anything of that nature, we're going to allow ourselves to then release it and release it out, so that the next time we get an opportunity to react, we're able to break the old cycle and get out of the loop and react differently. And I do have past videos on that. Facebook is still not allowing me to see any of the comments. I'm just getting a circle, so if anyone is joining, please know that I appreciate you. I just can't see you. And I wanted to also mention that we create our own signs and symbols. So as we're working through this process of following our intuition and following our heart, because we want to follow the intuition in our heart, when we do that, we are able to create our own signs with the guides. So I did a video earlier today, but to sum it up, basically we all create our own set of symbols and signs with our guides through our intuition. We can read books and we can do different things that allow us to access other people's ways that they've interpreted their signs, and we can use it as a suggestion. And we can use it to help mold our sign system, but we want to make sure that we are following our signs and that we are following the intuition of what something means to us, and taking that over just what a book says. Because remember, all the books and all the information down here was channeled through a human, and all of us humans, and I'm including myself in this, we all have different filters. So you want to take the pieces that resonate with you. That's why I always say that when I teach these things, even though I work with the Ascended Masters, not everyone has to agree with everything that I say and how they're teaching me to teach, and I change the way I teach all the time. You know, we're a constant work in progress, and the more that we allow ourselves to observe our thoughts and not judge them, the quicker we can break out of the old cycles, because 95% of our thoughts in our head are programmed from the outside world. So, and 95% of them are also thoughts that you might have had yesterday and the day before and the day before that and all of these other things. So it's just observing them and asking, is this what my highest best self would say or feel? Would my highest best self that's in source, would they speak to even myself this way? So once you start to recognize what's coming through, then you're able to really take charge of that mental space. And that mental space, believe it or not, when you can take control of that, that's when you are no longer being controlled by everything in your outside world, and you can start controlling things with your internal frequency. And for the next piece of this, let me just see here. We already talked about not going into the false positive. So if we pretend to be happy, the universe is going to pick up on the underlying angst or the underlying anxiety. So pretending to be happy is never helpful. You're better off feeling through the feelings and releasing, and then allowing yourself to have joy again. But never do the fake happiness piece, because it's not going to work in your favor. It's okay to allow yourself to smile, but if you want to create miracles and if you want to create change in your life, then you also have to allow yourself to let things go and allow yourself to fill with joy again. And the other thing that's really nice about understanding our own signs is that we are getting our validation from our own intuitive feelings, our own energy system, as opposed to going to other humans for validation. We can always go to other humans for confirmation, and we can ask the universe for confirmation. We can open up a book to a page and ask for confirmation on something and read what's on the page and see if that helps us. We might be walking down the street and see a sign, and that sign, literally like a sign on a window at a store, might answer our question. So we can get our confirmations in many different ways, but just make sure you're never getting your validation from other humans, because we are all intuitively valid within ourselves. So anything that we feel within our intuitive system is valid for us. Now recognize and make sure that you understand our divine self, our divine intuition has no fear, and it cannot be triggered. So if you're basing any of your decisions because you're afraid of something happening, you want to look at that and you want to take a moment, because that is not your true authentic intuition. That is not your best self. That is just fear. That's just the programmed mind taking over. So notice the difference and never make a decision out of fear. And one of the greatest things that I've learned when I started going within and not only looking at the book. So for a long time, I would read different books and I would think, oh, this has got to be the answer to all the things, and it's so amazing because it was helping me. And then I realized over time that all of the different books have little pieces that help me, but I take and choose each piece that resonates with me and my energy system and feels like it's right for me. And what I had learned, and what a lot of people don't even know, is that when we go into our inner intuition, we're able to access knowledge that a lot of humans might not even have yet. And we're all able to do this. We're all mediums. We're all empaths. We are all we're all able to do these things. We're all eventually going to be able to levitate. I am not there yet, but we are all able to do all of these different things. And I have a little list that I'll go over after. But one of the coolest things that I realized after I started really shifting my perception and shifting my consciousness into my higher self is that there's a huge difference. There's a lot of mediums out there, and I was one of them, that doesn't know that there's a difference between ghost realm and source realm, and they don't know that the ghost has a higher self. And as a medium, when we're connecting for our clients, it's really helpful to know that if we raise our vibration, whoever the client wants to connect with is available in source realm all the time, where the ghost may or may not even be incarnated into the ghost realm. I call it the unincarnated side of the earth realm. I do have videos on that too, that are in my past archives, and I'll be doing more on those again in the future. But it's so important to just allow ourselves to think out of the box and connect with our own divine intuition, because that is how we access real magic, real truth, and we're able to really shift our lives. I will tell you, my life has changed in so many ways, and it's continuing to change for the better every single day, and it's really awesome. So I just wanted to mention that with people so that we know that we're always going through this process. It's not like we wake up one day and we're like, oh, I'm completely shifted. I feel like it's a process, and we're all in different stages within the process. Everyone who's incarnated on Earth right now came here to be here during the Great Awakening. So there's no good or bad. Just because somebody is shifted in their consciousness and they no longer pedestal people or things, and they're able to be more like a Buddha-like presence, and they're able to just flow with life, and nothing stresses them out, nothing triggers them, nothing bothers them, that person is no better than the person who's getting triggered every 5 minutes or who is in complete anxiety. Everybody is worthy. And the person who's in complete anxiety has the same ability, if they choose to, and if they want to do the work, and I should is a hard word. Saying the word work is actually a misnomer, because I've learned that doing this, yes, we have to pay attention, and yes, we have to take action, but once we start doing it, it doesn't feel like work. It feels awesome, because as you start taking that dense energy out of your aura, and as your gifts come in stronger and stronger and stronger, you can access miracles really easy and really quick, and it's really, really cool. So have patience with yourself, and all you have to do is set the intention that I want to shift into my best self. And then when you get tempted to watch TV instead of doing yoga, or when you get tempted to do something that kind of sucks your time, maybe playing on your phone for too long or something of that nature, and you're not able to get the other things done that you would do if you were at your best self, then just take a few minutes each day and do the things towards your best self first, and then relax after. And you're going to notice that when we're shifting into the best version of ourselves to access the divine magic that's within us, so that we can use it for healing and for all the other things that we want to create in our life, it's important that we understand that it's so funny, I kind of just lost the track of my thought there. I went off on a tangent. But it's just really important that we understand that it is a process. So it's not something that you can just, for 5 minutes every day, I'm gonna work on being my best self. You want to take maybe 5 minutes each day to, maybe do something nice, maybe organize your bills or organize something for yourself. Today the moon is in Virgo. Or maybe it's that you exercise or you do something new for yourself each day. But as far as the thought process goes, when you're observing your thoughts, you want to try to do that all day if you can, but not in a heavy way, not in a work way, just in a way where you're able to really observe what's going on. Why are you being triggered? What is it going on underlying your emotions and your reactions? And then you can learn how to remove some of the automatic reactions and get off of the loop. And I do have a video on linear versus non-linear time, and that really helps us to break cycles and to really be our best self. So the next portion of this is, here it is right here. So we're shifting out of the programmed linear mind into the non-linear mind. So as opposed to A plus B plus C, we can jump from A to C. A plus B plus C equals D. We can jump from A to D. And we can start thinking more spirally. And I do have a past video on that if you're curious more about what that is. And we're all mediums, empaths, psychics, healers. We're all telepathic. It's all access to the vibration, and it's really all it is. And we're programmed here in Earth School to think that we don't have access to our vibration, but we do. So we're taught that everything outside of us has to control it, but it actually really doesn't. So when you're going through everything, it's really important that you understand that your inner mind space is what's creating your reality. So when you can take control over that, you're taking control over your reality. So anyone who is talking about different things that they're fearful of, they're just not in line with their higher self. And I also wanted to mention that you want to allow yourself to experience joy, because since 95% of our mind space is automatic thoughts, a lot of us don't have a lot of joy in those thoughts. So it's really important to recognize if you don't have joy in your 95% of your thoughts, because joy is what creates abundance and joy is what creates our experience. So whenever you can, it's important to allow yourself to experience joy and to allow yourself to raise your vibration. So if you're having a hard time or if you're feeling triggered, then do something to raise your vibration. Go for a walk in nature, turn on a really fun song, not a sad song, turn on a really fun song and take it that way. I've also noticed, I'm pretty sure that the Facebook is not working at all, so I'm going to post this on Facebook after if it allows me to. But Mercury's in retrograde and I'm not going to react. I mean, everything happens for a reason. What are you going to do? Internet service has been in and out. It's been weird. Now, the other piece I wanted to mention is that all you have to do, if you decide that you want to be the best version of yourself, all you have to do is allow yourself to break the old patterns. So if you eat a lot of junk food, for example, then take the junk food out of your house. Throw it away. Don't feel bad about it. Just throw it away. And just tell yourself that you don't need it and allow yourself to make a change. So if something like that feels too harsh for you, with that example, then just don't buy it anymore. So when you're in the store, don't buy it. We have control over everything. It's just the victim mentality that has us think that everything is happening to us, but nothing's happening to us unless we allow it to happen to us. So we could have anything go on in the world, and if we're connected with our higher self, we're not going to have a catastrophic reaction to whatever it is. We're going to have feelings and we're going to want to process our feelings, but it doesn't have to be catastrophic. And it doesn't have to set us back. Like I was saying earlier with the water, it's one of my favorite messages. When the water is flowing, it doesn't let the rock define it. It doesn't let the rock hold it back. The rock doesn't label it a victim and put it in a victim class and say you're a victim forever so you can never get over this thing. That's not how water is. We're made up of water. We can transcend anything, which is why I like calling it transcendence. So the other piece I wanted to add before I do the cards for today is that when I was in my journey, one of the people that I really enjoyed working with and learning from was Diana Cooper. And I noticed that working with her, my vibration was ascending and I was working towards that transcendence. And this is an amazing book that she does with Tim Wilde, and it's called The Archangel Guide to Ascension. And if you're not a God person, don't worry about it. There's still a lot of really great information in here. And just remove that word out of it as you're reading it if that doesn't resonate with you. But I will tell you, I work with the archangels. I work with everybody up in Source Realm. So personally, I don't have a religion I follow. I'm not even a witch. I don't follow any of that. And I think that it's wonderful for anybody who does have a label that they follow. No matter what your label is, you can still transcend your consciousness. It doesn't matter. So for me, I just don't have a label on any of that. I strictly work with energy, vibration, and frequency. You can access whoever you want in Source Realm, whether they were incarnated here or not, just by your vibration, and everyone there is willing to help all the time. So I don't have to be Wiccan or a witch in order to connect with some of the Celtic deities. Just like I don't have to be Christian to connect with Jesus. And I don't have to be a Buddhist to connect with Buddha. So it's really, really cool. You don't have to be a certain thing in order to access the knowledge that is available through different ways of getting to the people that believe in that thing. We can access all of the knowledge. And that's why it's so important to respect everybody's beliefs. Because we all have different perception. Oh my gosh, I think that my Facebook might have just gone live. We all have different perceptions. So let me hold this book up, right? So what do you see in this book? If you're looking at this book, you see some words right here, right? Well, I'm looking at the Wookiee. Just kidding. I don't really know what a Wookiee is. I don't think I ever watched Star Wars, but I think it's Star Wars. Anyways, with that. So I'm looking at something that is white. So this is a book. We're both looking at the same book. Whoever's over here is going to say that this book is big. The way we're looking at it, we're going to say it's small. It's still the same book. The way I'm looking at it, you can see the white that I see. And I'd be like, I don't see any words. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, guess what? You guys can see the words. We're not wrong. The book is still the book. And that is why when all the information comes down, people have different perceptions and different filters when they're channeling the information. So the information I channeled 5 years ago is a lot different than the information that I channel now because I have different filters. Hopefully I have less filters. I'm just kidding. I definitely have less filters, but I still have some filters. We all still have filters. So, filters. Allow yourself to have fun with the process. And if you make a mistake, laugh about it. It's Earth School. It's like a video game. We're here to learn lessons and grow. It's not so heavy as we make it. So this is a great book. I highly recommend it. Take a screenshot if you can. And I don't know if anyone is even on Facebook anymore because I know it wasn't working. But if you want to learn more, that is a great place to start. I would also suggest reading the Celestine Prophecy if you want to start shifting your consciousness and recognizing if you're going into victim mentality or what part in the process you're playing. There are so many great books out there. I listened to Eckhart Tolle, if I'm even saying that right, on an audio book on shifting consciousness, which is what helped me really shift consciousness. So there's tons of tools out there. And I don't think that Diana Cooper or Eckhart Tolle or any of the people that are out there teaching this stuff widespread have a whole lot of filters, but they might have some beliefs that differ from yours, and that's okay. Just take the pieces that resonate with you, because we all have the opportunity to vibe up. Oh, hello. Hi, Barbara. Yes, I know. I'm aware. I'm going to post it from Instagram. The Mercury was really messing with my my internet access today, but that's all right, because there's always a repost for everybody. Now, the next part that I'm going to do is going to be the readings. And for anyone who's been waiting for a personal reading, I am still doing them. I know after I had the concussion, and believe it or not, I feel like I'm healing really, really, really fast. It's almost not even, I mean, it's still noticeable, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was before. But I'm just starting to get back into my groove of all of my stuff. So I will be reaching out. I know Stevie and Marianne are one of them, or two of them, I should say. Should is a hard word, I will say. But I love you guys, and I'm going to be able to reach out Friday and pick out an actual time. And if anyone else would like an individual reading, I am happy to help with that. Just let me know. You can drop a comment if you can even see this. So if I repost this later and you're interested in doing a reading, just let me know. I also have email, which is readingsbymarilyn@gmail.com. All right. So I am going to now start picking the cards for everybody. Hello, Louise. I don't know if you can hear this. Oh my gosh, it ended. I'm just going to have to do it from here. That is so funny. I do not know what is going on with my internet, but apparently the data on my phone is still good. So we're just going to finish it up. So the first one that we have a card for is Louise, and I have the chakra deck with me today, which is an awesome deck. And this is right in line with the whole transcending our consciousness, because this shows any subconscious lines or any lines within your aura field, within your chakra system, that need to be paid attention to. And so all of these readings are just confirmations to help you throughout your day. So for Louise, yours actually came flying out, and it is throat chakra. So this is a beautiful card. And this card is all about allowing yourself to listen and observe and only speak what you want to create. So what the guides are saying is a lot of times we'll have internal dialogue of what we don't want to have happen. That's the part of shifting our consciousness. We're going to turn that off. We're going to learn how to turn that off. And all you have to do is recognize it and be like, hey, that is not a best self thought. That is a negative thought. So if everything can go either positive or negative, I might as well have positive thoughts in my mind as opposed to negative thoughts in my mind if the thoughts in my mind are creating things. So enjoy using your throat chakra to create things for good. And enjoy listening for the highest good. And that will help you. And it's also speaking your truth with kindness. So if there's anyone that you have to set boundaries with, it's important to be really kind when you do it. And the next person is Jill. And if anyone on Instagram would like me to pick a card, I'm hoping that it's still live enough where you can see me and see this. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do it over again. But hopefully everyone can see this. And for Jill, you had a couple kind of flip out here. Oh, they want to focus on the third eye. So they're saying that your third eye is opening. And they're reminding me to remind everyone of something I learned this weekend at my class from somebody who is also an energy worker who took the class with me. And this is really neat. So you know how we feel to heal and release? Another way as we're feeling and healing to release, to help expedite it and make it go quicker, is to take a magnet. You can use a kitchen magnet, and you go from your third eye and you go down over, and I forgot what it's called, if it's the fourth eye, or honestly it doesn't matter at this point. It's the eye behind your head as well. And you go down to about the middle lower back. And you use the magnet with the intention, and it will pull out a lot of that dense energy. And she had been doing this for a while, and it worked really, really good. So, Jill, this is something fun you can try if you want to. And if you don't have refrigerator magnets, I have some extra for you. And the next one is for Kathy. For Kathy, this one's beautiful. It's all about the solar plexus, which is all about the color of the day, which is yellow. And this is about self-esteem. And this is saying that it's important for you to have your healthy confidence, and don't let anything outside of you shake your confidence. So know that you are worthy, and know that it's okay for you to be kind and set boundaries. That's the message from the guides today. And the next one is going to be for Lewis. Oh, yours came out right away. And it says creativity. And this is about expression, originality, and passion. So what this is saying is allowing yourself to be creative. And this card, the blue, is associated with the throat chakra. So it's about taking action and speaking your truth for the highest good so that you can be your best self. And it's about really expressing what it is verbally that you want to create for yourself, and then taking the steps to actually follow through with it and not let anything deter you from being the best version of yourself. And the next card is going to be for Lynn. And this one is a very interesting card. It says emotions. This is feelings, expressions, mood, and balance. So with the emotions card, that is associated with our sacral chakra. And because of the color of the card. So what this is saying is balancing our emotions, because the sacral chakra is all about the male and female balance within us. And remember, when we have a thought, that would be a feminine thought, but when we take the pen and write it down onto paper to manifest it, the pen itself would be masculine. So we have feminine and masculine energy within us, and we can use that energy, and they're saying that you can use the writing to help you sort through your emotions, and you don't have to show anybody what you're writing, but that will help you really sort out your feelings so that you can create what you want instead of accidentally creating anything that you don't want. And let's see, the next one is for Lisa. And it's so ironic that the video froze because most of my people are on Facebook. So this is all a lesson for all of us, and how not to be triggered and how we're still able to get the messages across. How cool is that? So even though modern technology is being kind of funky, it's also still helping us out because I don't have to redo the video. So the next one is all about possessions, and this one's for Lisa. And for Lisa, it's saying not to worry so much about the material things and to focus on your joy. And with your joy, you're going to be able to create more physical things. So if there's anything that you're worried about with finances or anything of that nature, know with your internal frequency, asking for help for the highest good and flowing with that is going to help you tremendously to make sure you don't accidentally put fear or doubt into your energy. And the next one is for Barbara. Ooh, you also got the solar plexus, which is the color of the day, which is yellow. And your message for today is choice, free will, courage, willpower, and change. So let's not forget, it's our choice if we're going to change. I've been wanting to do my yoga, and then when I got the concussion, I couldn't do it for a while. So now I'm able to do it again, but I didn't actually end up doing it right away because we always have choices. I was tired one day, and then another day, I'll be honest, and not to be mean to ourselves, but I just wasn't feeling motivated to do it. So last night when I did it and I made the choice to get back into the habit of doing my yoga, it actually filled me up with a lot of joy, and it really helped me. And it really helped me feel better. That's so funny. Since my computer died because Facebook is off, it turned my light off too. So anywho, with that, remember that we always have a choice. So Barbara, for you, it's saying that if you want change in your life, you always have a choice. You always have a choice to do what your higher self would do. So my higher self likes that I do yoga because I feel like I'm really able to move around, especially when I'm in the woods or going up any rocks or anything like that. It makes me feel like I have my balance and my strength. So anything that you want to create into your life, no matter what it is, it's really important that we allow ourselves to make those little changes. And I will say what I've noticed in my life for the past, I don't know how many years, I don't really watch television because I've noticed that when I want to do all the things for my best self, I don't have a lot of time for television. So if you find that you don't have time to do things, I highly suggest turning off the TV and engaging with your life and seeing, what it is that brings you joy and working from that space. And really work on what do I need to do to, and need is a hard word, what do I want to do to make my life better and better and better all the time. And the next person that we're going to bring a card out for is Donna. And Donna got emotional balance. This is beautiful, and this is with the heart chakra. And it's just saying to allow in the harmony, the peace, and the fluidity. So no matter what is going on outside of us, and even health technically is outside of our consciousness, it's the body, and the body is connected with the human experience. We came down to Earth School and we grabbed some matter and we created this beautiful body. We all have beautiful bodies. It's pretty amazing that our consciousness has a body that we can use, right? So we're all beautiful and we're all amazing, and it's such a magical experience with all of the energy. I mean, we're made up of water and energy, and we're self-healing. It's really cool when you really think about it. And it's all about balancing those emotions within so that you know that you have control over your own healing, and knowing that emotional healing will actually help you heal the physical body. And Louise Hay has a book, Healing from A to Z, that is very helpful with that. It teaches whatever the emotional frequency is that's associated with whatever ailment is in the body. And we have Stevie next. Ooh, Stevie got choice too. And I already went over that one with the solar plexus, so I'll go over the next one that popped out automatically. And it's funny because you had asked for a card for Tony too, so they're both kind of together. They came out together, and it's choice and relationships. So remember, we all have the free will. It's talking about intimacy and freedom and trust. We all have the free will to create whatever it is that we want to create in this life. So as we as we have our healthy confidence, as you're both feeling confident about yourselves and each other, and you're building that trust, you can also carve out special time that's just for the two of you as well. And it may seem hard with all the different pieces of earth moving around everywhere, but I'm sure if you make the decision to be able to do an amazing date night, which is what the guides are suggesting, then that is going to help you manifest, because you both are great at manifesting together. So that will help you manifest whatever else you want to bring into your life right now. And they're saying something about Tony's work, so the date night will actually end up helping with the work situation as well, because it's going to lift the vibration. And it'll lift the vibration in the house too, which is really fun. And we can do stay-at-home date nights too, let's not forget that. So it's whatever you feel intuitively guided to do. And the next one we have here is for Faith. And I apologize that Facebook isn't working because there could be other people. If I see it tonight, it might take until tomorrow, depending, because I do have to get up early again tomorrow morning. But if anyone else wants cards tonight, I can pull them either tonight or tomorrow at some point and still get them in here. Because remember, just because we get a lesson doesn't mean that we can't still follow through with whatever it is that we originally intended to do for the highest good. There's always different ways around stuff. And for Faith, we got personal boundaries. So this is saying choice, assertiveness, empowerment, and authenticity. So all this is saying is using your free will to help you really be able to set boundaries with people, only say yes if you really want to, and have the ability to say no. And remember, you can't pour yourself out to help others if your internal pitcher is empty. So it's important to take time and schedule time for yourself to build yourself up and to fill yourself up with high vibration. I did that today in the woods earlier, and I'll post the picture without a filter. It was amazing. The camera actually could see all of the energy, and I literally felt like a high vibe, like almost like a buzzing high vibe as I was leaving the woods today, because I set the intention that I wanted a really high vibe, and it totally worked, and it was really awesome. So we can all do that as well, and it really works. It's just about setting the intention and believing it. So if you go out in the woods and you're like, oh, this doesn't work, it's not possible, probably not going to work for you. But if you go out in the woods and you're like, you know what? I didn't think it was possible 10 minutes ago, but right now in this now moment, what the heck? I'm going to try it. Guess what? You'll probably get a big vibe lift, because that's how it works. We have to be willing. We have free will here. So if we're willing to shift our consciousness, and we're willing to change, and we're willing to get rid of victim energy, and we're willing to fill up with light, and we're willing to be light, then the universe rearranges everything and helps us deliver exactly that. So I'm hoping that everyone was able to see this on Instagram at the very least, so that I can then share it with Facebook as well. Thank you everybody for joining on, and I look forward to next week's Wellbeing Wednesdays. I'm not sure exactly what the topic is going to be yet, but I will share that soon. And if any of you would like a card and I can't see it here, feel free to post it in the messages on Instagram as well, so that I can see it. But thank you so much for Cheryl and Alyssa and DJ Blink and Joni. I'm so glad that you all came on, and I hope this was helpful for you. And if any of you have any questions about the nonlinear versus linear time, or the feel, heal, release, or how to go through the trigger process and learn how to not be triggered, I do have past videos on all of that as well. And I am going to be doing my YouTube channel again and getting all these past videos back up on there as well. So namaste, have a beautiful evening, and don't forget to have joy.